I'm Calvin, welcome to another episode of Diary of a Car Trader. Today I've got something quite special coming in. Okay, so today I am in the S-Class and I've been running around in this car for the past couple of days, and honestly I am so impressed with this car. It's just got, I think this one's actually quite a low spec S-Class, but low spec as in low for an S-Class, but it's higher spec than most other cars on the road. It's got so much going for it. It's got this, I didn't know this either, it's got this touchpad here which is like a mouse, and you can sort of scroll around and click and move things on the screen. It's really clever. It's got Wi-Fi, it's got internet, you can download apps, it's got this huge wide screen to do it all on as well. It's got this mood lighting where you can adjust the colours of the lights, and there's just endless amounts of things that this car can do. You can even adjust how the seats are heated. So it's got a lot going for it. It's a really comfortable car. I've pretty much been using it for the school run and just running around, so probably not what it's made for, so today you're here to see quite a cool car. I don't know how I would have played it because I don't know what the thumbnail is going to look like, but the car that I've got coming in today is something, it's different, it's something quite special, and it's something that I've been wanting to get my hands on for a little while now. Do you know what, I'm just going to stop talking and we'll go there, pick it up, and we'll get some music on and go, and I'll show you some shots of the car and we'll go for a drive in it, alright? So we'll end this bit and I'll see you in a bit. A Type R Replica. Now, look, red seat belts, red seat belts. A lot of people will naturally moan about a replica. Now, I strangely think replicas are quite cool. Not like Ferrari replicas, that's embarrassing, but when you get like an average car and it gets specced up so much and gets tampered around with so badly that it replicates the highest car in its own league, I think that's quite amazing. I don't know who's done this car, but whoever has done it has done a bloody good job of it. I'll get driving and I'll tell you a bit more about it, yeah? I'm a huge Type R fan in general. One of my first fast cars, well in fact my very first fast car, was a Civic Type R EP3, which was a fun car. They're a 2-litre VTEC. I think they were 197 brake horsepower, and in fact that was the first car I ever done a video on. One of my first videos back in, I don't know, about 8 years ago, I don't know how long ago it was. From memory, the video somehow got deleted and I re-uploaded it a couple of years later, but it was a long time ago. That was my first video I ever done, and I am, honestly, I'm a massive fan of the way them cars drive. The whole VTEC thing, and the way that, I don't know, Jap cars in general, you can just cane them and they just seem to love it. So I'm a Type R fan, and when this new Type R come out, I've been dying to get my hands on one, but they've been out for a few years now and I still haven't done it. I've still not driven one, and today's the day. Now I have driven this car just before the video was switched on, so I know exactly what it drives like now, and it's extremely impressive, let's just say that. Now you're probably wondering whilst you're watching this that how can it be an impressive car if it's a replica? This replica is a perfect replica of an actual Type R. The whole interior is Type R. It's got the Type R seats, it's got Alcantara door cards, it's got the Type R steering wheel, the dials, the dash, the bloody I don't know if this head unit's out of a Type R, but it's got sat nav, it's got DAB, it's got push button start, it's got an R button, which when you press that, we'll do that in a sec by the way, it gives you more performance. The outside, we've got the Type R wheels. We've even got the paint, the pearl white paint from a Civic Type R. It's got everything. It just perfectly replicates a Honda Civic Type R. Hold on, we'll stop there, yeah? So this car has got the body kit, the alloy wheels, the brakes, the interior, the steering wheel, the dash, the dials, but most importantly, the thing that you're most interested in even, it's the fact that it's got the engine and the gearbox out of a Civic Type R, which is a 2-litre turbo running 300 brake horsepower. And if I press this R button, that gives you the maximum performance out of this whole setup. So what I'll do is I'll drop to first. This button changes the car. Watch this. The front wheels are just pulling me. It must have a limited slip diff because it is putting the power down perfectly. And wherever you point them front wheels, the car is going in that direction. It's really odd driving a Type R with a turbo. Obviously, no one's ever had that experience. You don't have a Honda Type R and have a turbo on it. It just doesn't, it's never ever happened. This is the first turbocharged Type R ever to be made, as far as I know anyway. We've even got these LED lights on the dash that tell you when to change gear. It is mental. The only way I can describe this car is it's like a front wheel drive Mitsubishi Evo, but with a hatchback. It drives exactly like a Mitsubishi Evo. So standard, these cars are 300 brake horsepower, and this is exactly that. I think it's got a little bit of a dump valve under the bonnet because you can hear a little hiss between gears, but it's running at standard power. So it is literally a perfect copy of a Civic Type R, but it started off life as a 1.8 Civic SE. So you're now wondering, why on earth has someone done that? Why has someone done it? This car was actually in an accident a couple of years ago. I don't know the full ins and outs of it, but it was in an accident. We're currently in 2018. It was in an accident in 2016, so it was a long while ago. And whoever crashed this car back then probably decided that the best thing to do, instead of, well, they're repairing it anyway, so they may as well repair it to a higher standard and just get it looking like a Type R. The brakes are brilliant, the gearbox is spot on, the clutch is lovely, and the power is bloody perfect. If anything, it feels like the perfect amount of power for the body weight. We are rocking around a lot. I'm sorry if that camera is shaking. I've probably picked a bad road for this, but it'll give you a good idea to how crazy this car is. 4th gear, we're still boosting. Bear in mind, this is just a 1.8 Honda Civic SE. That's what you'll probably tell your insurance company anyway. So this week I've also driven my manual Volkswagen Golf R, and I suppose it's quite a comparable car. It's 300 brake, it's got a manual gearbox, it's a sports hatch. I suppose the main difference, obviously this is Japan, that's German, but the main difference is this is front wheel drive and that's 4-wheel drive. Personally, a sports hatch, I think, I don't know, is it better being a front wheel drive? I don't know, but I do love a front wheel drive car. I think they're great fun to drive. And I love a Jap car as well, funny enough, but I am a huge fan of Golf Rs. But I suppose most people looking at these would consider either or, and they'd probably be curious to know which one's better. I think Japanese cars have got this aura, this feeling, this excitement about them, which German cars don't have, I don't know, that's a bit harsh. They do have. German cars are exciting. They are what you expect. They do exactly what they say on the tin. But Jap cars are a bit more erratic and loose and light and a bit more tinny, which German car fans slate, but Jap car fans love. So I think if you're a Jap car fan, you're probably not going to go out and buy a Golf R, and you're certainly not going to buy a Civic Type R if you're a German car fan. To German car fans, getting something like this is a massive downgrade. So, but I think they're massively comparable. Right now on the market, you can get a Civic Type R, say a 16 plate, for about, I think they start at 20 grand, okay? Golf R's on a 16 plate are similar money, so they're very comparable cars. I think, me personally, what I love about this car is how much character it's got. When you look at it, it just looks abnormal. It looks so different to anything else on the road. I love the fact that it's got pearl white paint. I love the fact that this dash is just like, I love the FN2s, the way the dash was set out. They've kept the design of the dash and moved it onto this, and I love that whole setup. So from a driving point of view, you get to see the speedo, the radio, the dials, the rev counters in the center. It's just a real nice setup, and you've got this lovely sporty wheel. So would I buy a Type R over a Golf R? I really don't know. The thing that lets this car down, I think personally, is they only come as a manual, which is a very Jap thing. You know, Japanese cars, they are, like I say, erratic and they're very driver focused. So a manual gearbox is what most real drivers want in their car. Me personally, I think I would rather, because you could daily this car. It's got a little 2-litre 4-cylinder turbo engine with loads of power, obviously, and it's a 5-door hatch. You know, it's got a big boot, it's got doors at the back. So if I wanted to like pick Kai up from school, I could do that, and I could use this car daily quite easily. But I wouldn't buy one as a daily car purely because, oh, there's an FN2 there. Purely because it's got a manual gearbox, and I just can't be dealing with that every day. So there you go. Welcome to my new bit of stock. We've even got boost gauges in the middle there. I'm gonna end it there. So yeah, new bit of stock. Hope you like the video. If this car even is still available, I'll put a link in the description below for anyone who's interested in it. It might well be sold by the time this video gets edited and goes live, so who knows. I hope you liked the video. If you did, obviously hit like, and if you're new, hit subscribe, and I'll see you in the next episode of Diary of a Car Trader. Alright, bye. In the next episode of Diary of a Car Trader, I talk a bit about my channel and I have some more fun in the Civic.